So now it's time for the book launch. The book named Success Mantras and Musings. Edupreneur Manjula Pooja Shroff is Dr. Manjula Pooja Shroff's journey, a story of dreams accomplished, challenges overcome, and faith heightened. Dr. Manjula Pooja Shroff is a well-known personality in the education industry. She is recipient of several awards, among them the prestigious Secular India Award from the former President of India, Sri Shankar Dayal Sharma. We have known Dr. Manjula Pooja Shroff as a senior entrepreneur all these years. Dr. MPS has many other dimensions to her personality as well. Very few of us actually know about the other dimensions. Let's have a glimpse of those unknown dimensions through an audio visual. I would request the sound coordinators to kindly play the AV.
She has her hand in the structuring and strengthening of the young and progressive India. Her entrepreneurial journey began young. She has been a management alumni of Indian Institute of Management in Ahmedabad and London School of Economics. She is Manjula Pooja Shroff, a visionary educator, an enthusiastic leader, and a motivator to thousands of students and parents.
I believe that day-to-day conversations with your children can beat any hurdle in their path to development and progress. Conversations can act as a measured guidance and provide encouragement to boost their self-esteem. Discipline comes first. Why does the word discipline normally bring images of scolding and shouting to mind? We normally assume that tantrums are a toddler's domain, that tantrums are a tool to get what the child wants.
Hi guys, I'm Raymond Kakkar and I'm currently reading this wonderful book, Success Mantras and Musings by Manjula Pooja Shroff. This is just not a book, it's an inspiration.
Hello everyone, I'm Chandan. Success Mantras and Musings is a glimpse into the journey of entrepreneur educator Dr. Manjula Pooja Shroff.
So I finally got my hands on this book, and while reading it, I did realize that it's not only the professional life of Dr. Shroff that I read about over here, which we already know about, but also a lot about love that she's talking about and what drives it in her life.
Wow, such a versatile personality you are, Dr. Manjula. Dr. Shroff also very strongly believes in nurturing the mental, physical, and social dimensions of people through her dedicated work and through her website, shroffism.com. From leading an exclusive life at Surangi Palace, Ichapuram in Odisha, in her formative years and then moving into a hostel, yet taking charge of managing home, staff and finance to dealing with the loss of her closest ones at the young age and then moving into a world far beyond home, Dr. MPS has not gone by any rule book to achieve success but has firmly followed her gut and stayed focused self-belief besides learning from experience and people around her has ensured the vision is clear and her efforts constant. Success Mantras and Musings is a glimpse into the journey of the senior entrepreneur who went beyond the rule book to create her own path for success. This is a story of impossible dreams, monumental challenges, and profound faith with self-belief and an innate ability to trust her instincts and stay focused. Dr. Manjula inspires you to embrace your destiny and shape your own entrepreneurial journey. This book is authored by Miss Anurita Rathod Jadeja, who is a senior journalist, author, and speaker and media professional from Ahmedabad. She got so inspired by the journey of Dr. Manjula that she chose her as a topic to write a book on. The book is published by Vitasta Publishing Private Limited, a leading publishing house at Delhi. So now, yes, this is time to launch the book. I would like to call on stage, before we launch the book, I would like to call on stage Mr. Anand Krishnan, B, CEO Operations Kalorex Group, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. A huge round of welcome for him. I would request, Dr. Manjula Pooja Shroff, जिनके बारे में ये सारी book लिखी गई है, who is the star of this beautiful day. And along with her, I would like to call on stage Mr. Chandan Anand. I would request Mr. Damodar Prasad Goyal to kindly be on stage. I would request Ms. Lata Rawat to kindly be on stage. And I would request Mr. Kanak Gupta to kindly be here on stage for the launch ceremony. With so much of inspiration and motivation, we are so sure that this book gonna break all the records. Let's launch the book. Let's unveil the book. Please witness the ceremony with a huge round of applause. Come on, everyone. 3 round of cheers for Success Mantras and Music. Hip hip! After hip hip, it's बोलना ही होता है. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Congratulations to Dr. Manjula.
So here we are for the Fireside Chat round. And believe me, ma'am, I've been waiting for this launch since long. Many of times I tried to chase Anantaji ki when it will be my opportunity in any of the states where I would be overwhelmed to have this opportunity to interview you and to launch this book. So I'm happy that Rajasthan state did this. And the way we move ahead with, as I told you, we are going to West Bengal and Odisha, your birth state, and my nani's house in Baripada, Mayurbhanj. So yeah, so we'll be very happy to have you in these states as well.
Better.
Success Mantras and Musings by Anurita Rathore Jadeja ji, a senior journalist, author, speaker based out in Ahmedabad. So without much ado, let us start this fireside chat round. The first question to Dr. MPS. You had many ups and downs in life, Manjula ji. A book is all about a lot of information of a person in public domain. What was your first reaction when the idea was first shared with you? What were your inhibitions?
You know, when you stand here and talk about a book, the first thing you have to overcome is, लोग ये तो नहीं सोच रहे कि it's about being pompous. You know, that's the first inhibition, that, you know, it's talking about you. But like I say, it's always about going to deeper layers. I want to tell you this, that when somebody writes about you, it's not easy. You start to expose a part of you that was always very private. You start to expose a part of you that was just in your mind. You start to expose a vulnerable side of you, and which is not easy. So जो दिखता है, that, oh, a book and, you know, the celebrity time and all of that, है. But you know, what the book has taught me is I'm openly able to talk about failure, which I was not. Because, you know, when you're successful, and I've known Chandan, you know, for a long time. He's not only a very capable person, but he's a very sensitive person. I've seen him take decisions which border on being more sensitive than being more organized. So the reason I'm saying that is sensitive people see things very differently, right? They see layers. So if you're a sensitive person, when a book is getting written about you, you don't know whether you should stop at layer 3 or layer 6. So those were the things that I really had to come to terms with myself. Because there are things in the book that was never discussed. It was never discussed that in my mid-20s, I was all alone practically in the world. I had no parents. It was never discussed. Nobody knew that. Everybody in the organization and everybody in the education fraternity thought that I was born with a golden spoon, which I was born with a golden spoon, but they knew my success story. They never knew my setbacks. They never knew my failures. But this book gave me the strength, gave me the opportunity to talk about failures, and to say now that as educators, if we don't teach our children how to fail, we are not teaching life. The plan B, जो आपने बात करी, we are not going to teach life if we don't. And for that, we have to have the courage to say, I have failed, and I have a plan B, and that's why I can be your role model.
Lovely, ma'am. The next question goes to you is, how do you connect this book to mental, physical, and social dimensions that you work on for people?
So we are all a product of who we were as children, right? Everybody is captive in childhood. I grew up in high walls of palaces. This city understands everything about royalty. And I'm so glad that Maharani Gayatri Devi was the first person to write a book called The Princess Remembers. Because it told the struggle side of what looks so glamorous. I hope that this book will break one more barrier, saying that being born in a palace is definitely something that is very, very treasured, right? I mean, not everybody has the privilege of being a princess, which comes from birth. You can't do it any other way. So that privilege also comes with a lot of need to adapt. You see, you're no longer, that whole era is gone. But if you are mentally there, you can imagine how much you struggle. So imagine me from high walls of a palace, I started to live in a barsati in Delhi. From never having the opportunity to walk alone, travel alone, I traveled in DTC buses in Delhi. But to tell you honestly, the reason I'm sitting here and have the strength to run an organization with 40 odd institutions and 30,000 students or whatever else is because of that life in Delhi, which taught me struggle, which taught me consistently how to be self-reliant, how to self-preservation as a woman. It taught me. The city in Delhi taught me. You know how dangerous the city is in the Delhi city is, how dangerous it can be to a attractive woman in the 20s with nobody to stand for. So this city, the city of Delhi gave me a lot, which is why I'm sitting here, but because I learned.
Most exciting and difficult moments, most difficult moments which you came across, if you want to share while working on this book?
One of the things that I had really never spoken about, and that is the one that I really had to overcome, is, so very early in life, I had lost a lot of people in my life. Mere dada dadi, of course, my bua, 2 buas, my chacha. I lost my mother, which was such a big blow that took me many years to overcome that. And in my early 20s, when I finally lost my dad, is when I stepped foot in Ahmedabad, where I now live, in Indian Institute of Management, which completely then I thought that I will take a hiatus, 6 mahine pad lungi, kuch karti hu main, different city hai, I will recover from all the trauma that I've gone through emotionally, and then come back and do something. But destiny has its own roles. I never knew, and I was coming from Orissa and Delhi, I'd never been to Ahmedabad. I never knew that life had Ahmedabad in store for me, that I would be living there, I would be married there, I would be working there, that would be my karma bhumi. I had no idea. But life had plans. And that's why it is so important to just flow with the energies. So yeah, talking about all of that which the book has really hasn't been easy.
Yes, I'm sure. Dr. Shroff, when you hold your own printed book, biographed on you, what were your feelings? What would you like to share, in fact, to the people who have been reading your book? An outcome for every reader is something different. I don't know what perspective he's reading, what is an outcome that person is getting after reading. What were your ideas? How did you felt?
So the process was like this. During COVID, Anurita is a journalist, very acclaimed journalist in Ahmedabad. And some of us in education, somehow make it to the papers. So she'd known me for many years, and we were doing coffee once, and she said that, every time I meet you, you sound very different. Now, see, the way I'm talking to you just now, and the way I talked to you 10 minutes ago is 2 different human beings, right? Because I'm talking to you as a human being, as a person just now, and I was talking to you as a professional then. So the professional gets written about. And she said, every time I talk to you, I get this insight about life which is never written about. So have you ever considered, getting a book out or having it written? And I was like, maybe not. Who has the time for it, right? And then COVID happened. And the book got written like this. She would write just 20, 30, 40 questions on one chapter, and I would respond either on a phone or like a dictation, record it and send it, or like an email. And before you knew it, you had a book. And that's why you have to just go with the energy. Now, do you really think, you saw that AV, right? Do you think that when I held this book in the hand, I would say, I knew that, is this my 7th or 8th city, guys? 8th city. Do you think I knew that? Do you think any of the team members knew that 8 cities mein hum release karenge? एक book आ गया, I said, अच्छा अभी तो book तो manuscript आ गया, अभी क्या करते हैं, चलो self publish कर देते हैं, हम इतने सारे textbook, notebooks करते रहते हैं. And then we said that, why not give it a shot? Why not give it to, publishers? Because a third party publication means there's a lot more seriousness, right? The book is not ours, the book belongs to the publisher. But it's giving me a platform to talk. So the book has a destiny of its own. We are just going with that energy of the book. It was just meant to be. It's one of those things, if you are that kind of person that believes that there is a higher order, and everything in life will only teach you that there is a higher order. सब कुछ आपके हाथ में है ही नहीं.
Dr. Shroff, I've been following you since the first launch of the book, almost like 3 months ago in Delhi. This is obviously your 8th city. How do you feel?
Every book launch has been so much fun. New people, new opportunities, right? I want to just share the one Ahmedabad wala. So the reason it happened in Delhi is because हमारे जो publisher हैं वो Delhi के हैं, but हम लोग तो Ahmedabad के हैं. Home turf is Ahmedabad. So we were always on tenterhook saying that हमें कोई press में कोई पूछ लेगा कि what are you doing in Delhi? Why not Ahmedabad? तो हम क्या करें? But again, the book has a destiny of its own. In 3 months, we have a Gujarati launch. Now, honestly, नहीं होता ये सब. जितना भी planning क्यों ना कर लो. So in 3 months, we had a Gujarati version out, and it gave us an opportunity. And we had this wonderful lady, Dia Mirza. You know, everybody knows Dia Mirza from Bollywood. She came for the book launch. Now, when Dia was talking, you know, how we all think, right? That celluloid hai, actresses hai, busy rehte hain, shoot mein, all of that. So we had, of course, sent her the book. And then one night before, the team, Anand, Krishna and me, and we were all talking, and we said that पता नहीं वो book पढ़ेंगे कि नहीं, आ तो जाएंगे, but पता नहीं book पढ़ेंगे कि नहीं. थोड़े से excerpts, you know, on WhatsApp, we clicked and we sent it to her, saying, telling her secretary कि उनको flight में बोल देना कि कम से कम इतना तो पढ़ के आएं. And then when she released the book, she had not only read the book, she was drawing parallels, saying that, she said, I felt so much for you because when I was 9, she was 9, she lost her father. And she said that when I was reading the book, I was like, acha, inke saath bhi aisa hua? What I want to say that, and it was such a wonderful experience, they are launching the book in Gujarat, but I want to say this, आप जब ये book पढ़ोगे ना, whether you're a man or a woman, आपको भी लगेगा, अरे, ये तो, I resonate with this. Because you know why? Everybody's life there is a story to tell. I'm just very, very fortunate to be sitting here and being interviewed by Chandan ji. Everybody has a story to tell. There will be overlap 20, 30, 40%, whether you're a man or a woman. So when you read it, it will only touch base with your own life, things that you may have forgotten. There are some lines in this book which are so amazing. Do you want me to read it now, or you want to ask your next question? I'll do the
May
order.
I proceed with the next question? Because
Yes,
that will actually answer you for the thing which you are searching. Whom do you think the audience of this book is? Actors, educators, academicians, students?
I have been told, now that the book is in the market for about 3 months, I've been told that there was a friend of mine from Orissa, because my home is, I was born in Orissa. She said that I'll definitely gift this book to my daughter. She said that it's such a strong parenting book that there were lines I would read and say कि यार मुझे ये पहले पता होता तो I would have behaved differently. She was like, between ages 20 to 40, I'm going to gift it to, and she did that. My teachers say, you know, they were having a parenting conference, and they were like, we have a standard rule that if we are hosting something, that I don't speak. For a simple reason that we get an opportunity to invite others. This time they said, will you please make an exception and talk about some paras of the parenting that is in the book. So it's very strong on parenting because parenting is a very important aspect of my life. One of my role models was my mother, and through that I kind of channelized a lot of that motherhood to my son. So parenting, so gender-free parenting. Women will really see a lot of value because women empowerment hai. Like I've said to you, right, from a palace, if I lived in a Barsati, you can imagine the struggle that I've gone through. So empowerment of women though is right up there. But I want to talk about the men. Whether you're a father, brother, uncle, whoever you are, Children in your house are looking up to you. Children never learn from what we say. They only learn from what we do. So for all the men in this room, I want to tell you this as a fact, that women are second-class professionals. In the world, women are second-class professionals. It is still very much a man's world. And I'm saying with absolutely no feeling. This is a statement of fact. A feeling is not going to change a fact. So just let's cut out the feeling and stay on the fact. It will be many, many, many years and decades before there is equality between men and women in professional space. You and me will definitely not live to see it. So men in this room, if you behave like the first-class professional at work, know that your daughters and your niece or whoever is in the house will learn from you that she is second class. That is the responsibility I want to put on you. Don't change for anybody else. Change for the girls in your house. If you're male-dominated, you may say anything. They will learn that they come after their brothers. They come after their chachas. They come after every male, after their husbands. And I'll tell you that this is not about fighting for anything. I believe that men and women are equal. Men and women complement each other beautifully. The world cannot function without either of the genders. But there is a hierarchy. There is a hierarchy between genders. If anything, we should bring about equality. So if I've answered your question, Chandanji, I really do wish that men will be responsible for who they are bringing up in their homes. Which girl? A second-class professional or a first-class professional?
Without women, a home is incomplete. So first class, second class, whatever class, a woman should be there in a home to make the home complete, to make you complete. This book is obviously motivation and inspiration for all. It's 207 pages book. I read a small quote in page number 197, which is just closing. Is that the statement which is summarizing your book?
97.
197.
The beauty of this book is you can pick up any page and get started. I think Anurita has done a pen. Arey wah. Yeah, this is after my heart. So, fear of death is actually fear of life. You know why I have the right to say this? I lost everybody by the time I was 20. My life just prepared me to deal with death. That gives me the right to say such a powerful line, right? The fear of death is actually the fear of life. Pack your bags, live in this moment, and stay ready to take the final flight any second. That's the last quote of this book, which Chandanji very beautifully brought out. But yes, that is my understanding of life.
Ma'am, what are your expectations from this education is the seniors who are sitting in this room to be the last question for this room?
And I'm going to borrow this line from Lataji. We are all born with what we call memory power of the body. You know, memory जब हम बोलते हैं, mind जब हम बोलते हैं, ऐसा कोई space नहीं है brain में. Every cell of your body retains memory. So if anything, it is the body that holds the memory and not the brain. The brain only holds cognition. And as teachers and fraternity of education, please have this distinction very clearly. So जो body की जो memory है, जो chromosome और DNA से आती है, that comes from your generations. Body की जो intelligence है, that is natural and gifted. Everybody has it. When children come to us, they come as gifted children. It is we who move away from the body intelligence to the cognition. And that is the biggest threat. That is the undoing that the education is doing. Please pay attention to body, memory of the body intelligence, physical intelligence. Because that is innate. You call it instinct, you call it divinity, you call it inner self, you call it inner voice. If there's only one request I have to make from everybody, because you impact children so much, please help children develop their inner voice. Because when you are not there as teachers, when their parents are not there, when they will have social pressures, when they will be faced with drugs, when they will be faced with robbery, when they will be faced with threat and war, it is their inner voice that will talk to them and guide them. It is therefore our job to help them discover, help them trust, and help them follow their inner voice.
So lovely, ma'am. I was just requesting somebody if I could get a pen. I want a signature on this book, so that I was about to summarize. Can I? Pencil is there, but I want a pen so that it could be. So Damodar says, so with me.
हाँ जी जी, दामोदर साहब की पेन से करवाते हैं। वो गोल्डन कलर की है।
Oh my God. Golden philosophy that is. Thank you. So friends, we all have received the book with our welcome kit. So we all can get it signed by Dr. Manjula. It's time for networking tea and coffee. So we all can get it signed and mingle with each other and have good cup of tea.
This is my book. Thank you so much. Lovely. Yes, yes, yes. What a wonderful fireside chat round. We call this as educational leadership dialogue. This could be one of the things. So it's an education leader, and I'm having an opportunity. It was my honor to have a dialogue with you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being a part of this session. Thank you so much.
Dr. Manjula, I'm not a good reader, but trust me, I'm so excited to read the book.
Thank you.